All right. This is a good starting place. I guess maybe 2 minutes early makes a little more sense. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this weekly recap. Well, it's kind of week and a half recap, I guess, technically right now. But thank you guys for being patient with me on the last one. I've been working my ass off. Pardon me if I'm a little loopy. I've been up all night, but there's a couple little cosmetic things that I just wanted to get right, a couple little pieces of code, but it's solid. So we've gotten all of the bugs fixed. We're compiling the wallets right now. We got our signing keys. We got all the hurdles overcome. It's ready to pack and ship. So as I said, it is 6:33 p.m. That's about 3 hours from now. We will be having the wallet release. So I guess I can go through basically what's been accomplished. Prior, we had issues with the invoices API. That's all cleaned up. When I ran the desktop wallet yesterday, when you have a really large sig chain, I don't know if anybody's had a large sig chain with the old wallet, but if you try, like just paying invoices, for instance, would take me like 3 or 4 minutes per invoice to pay it. Because it just was so slow, and my computer fans were going crazy, and they'd never slow down. I just have to exit the wallet, right? So I thought yesterday I'm gonna go jump in, see how it does. Much better, but there was still a bit of CPU usage because that particular sig chain has 14,000 events. So when you start getting a really large series of events like that, you have to read all of that from disk, right? And you have to seek all of that. So essentially, I've been wanting to add the optimization in. I wasn't going to do it just as kind of a feature freeze, but that's why I've been up for the last couple of days. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it all, get it done so it's right. So the CPU usage is totally clean and clear now. Really low, whether you're a really large sig chain or a really small sig chain. It's pretty close to constant time now, which is really good. All the client mode stuff, that's all piped in. We had an issue with the bootstrap last night because I changed a password on a node, and the bootstrapper was making a bootstrap off of a live node. So if you bootstrapped within the last week, make sure to just rebootstrap. It's fixed now. That's kind of what got me. I wasn't planning on being up all night, but I ended up being there because the bootstrap needed work, and then I had to resync, and then I had to test, and then I synced from scratch 5 or 10 times. Everything's really smooth. The mainnet nodes have been running on this for quite a bit of time, basically months and months and months. So it's pretty well tested, like in a lot of other areas, but these were just some of the last few peripheral tests. There are some things with balances. There's one function left that I hadn't gone through, get pending. And today when I was just testing some transactions, I saw the pending balance kind of went high and then unconfirmed. So I just got all that fixed a few hours ago. So Kendall's basically working on the builds right now, and then we had the signing keys that we had to get. We have them now. We're all ready to rock and roll. So that should shoot out over the auto update. After this AMA, I'm going to be merging into the master branch and tagging for the release 5.1. If you've been using it prior to this, you'll see that it's 5.1-RC. We're on RC release candidate 20 right now, and then a build number 20.2, 20.3. That's all done. So that's kind of the final step, which is what I'm just about to do. I wanted to get some tests with Kendall just to run it before I did the merge, but it's looking good right now. Where it stands right now, actually, maybe I should do it on the AMA. Let's see, get branch. Okay, we're on merging. Get checkout master. Get pull origin master. Okay, here we go. We're gonna merge it. Get merging. Okay. Get merging. There she goes. Oh, no merge conflicts. Beautiful. Okay. If anybody doesn't know, merge conflicts are when it doesn't merge the way you would expect it to. But the final numbers stand at 636 files changed, 114,032 insertions, and 71,689 deletions. So that means 71,000 lines of code were deleted, and then 114,000 lines of code were created. So all in all, that's about 114,000 lines of new code. 70,000 of it was beefing up original functionality, and then another 40,000 with additional functionality. So if anybody's seen, like one of the cool new features is the query DSL. We piped it into the networks API so we can see the total number of nodes. We're at about 3,000 active nodes for about a 3-week span. So I'm estimating 3,000 to 4,000. I see 1 or 2 connections coming into the nodes per second, which the network's really healthy. I'm seeing lots of nice transaction volume. The network's looking really good under the hood. I'm not going to run a stats like I did last time. I figured today is a good day to do the code merge. But that is the merge statistics right there. So it's a lot of code. It has been a massive undertaking, but it's done. It's there. So we're basically working on the desktop wallet builds right now. And then so you guys know the release schedule. We got this. This comes with the peer-to-peer marketplace. It comes with all the new APIs, the query DSL. I added new functions to, I'm going to be going into the documentation this week that Ann Wise wrote, which she did a very good job on. But there's a lot of other little Easter eggs and stuff in there that only I really know about that I'm going to just go fill a lot of that out. Like one of them is like a sense keyword. So like if you're a developer and you want to say, okay, I want all the transactions from the last hour, and you usually would have to figure out the Unix timestamp and then post that Unix timestamp in there. And then that would give you, the timestamp that you're checking your ranges from. But I just created a little sense keyword so you can actually do any variation. You do 1 year, 5 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, and 5 hours, or in 3 seconds, or whatever. And so you can really granularly go in. There's the functions right now are sense, date, username, reverse lookup, regular resolver. I think that's it. So you have functions. If anybody's ever dealt with computer programming, you have kind of like a function that determines if and creates a value for you. So it's built into the API. And then, of course, operators, queries, the peer-to-peer market stuff, the interactions is working on the Nexus market cap. So we just got the trade volume and the last price. That's all done. Well, actually, we're able to solve that issue without adding any new code. It was just the way to use the query DSL. So that was really, really awesome. That's a sign, at least to me, that you're developing good architecture, because you can see you don't need to add all these additional commands to do very specific things. You have a really powerful, smaller subset of commands that have all these different things, like getting the average difficulty over the last 24 hours. You can do that right in the API, and just using the Ledger API, and then crunch the difficulty, run a mean calculation on it, and then use the sense keyword, and boom, you got it, right? So I'm going to be also I want to really highlight how to use a query DSL, and I'm still kind of learning how to use all these different tools. It's one thing to build them, but it's another thing to figure out how to use them. I'm sure you guys will be helping learn to figure that out. So before the end of this, I will push it to master, and then I'm going to tag it for release. So that means I'm going to go to a full release candidate and a full release version. This one, most likely, we are going to be releasing it as a Tritium only mode. So let's see. Let me just message Kendall. So we're going to be releasing it as Tritium only mode. It works in client mode. It works in Tritium only mode. So if you're staking, you want to run it in full node. If you're not, you can just run client mode. I think that takes about 1 gigabyte of disk space rather than 17 or 18 gigabytes. You have all of the APIs available, and additional APIs, the registry API, the Ledger API, the network API now. But I'm really starting to go towards it's all one API, and they're just different sets of commands, right? So you have different command sets associated with each different functionality of the stack. Essentially, you have assets, you have tokens. Well, the tokens is actually deprecated and integrated into the finance API now. Finance debit any works great now. TradeAgro has been running that. So exchanges, it's really easy to get integrated. So we're going to be working on the documentation for that. I'm also working with communications on developing a pitch document for the different exchanges, and the market makers are ready to pitch that around to the big exchanges when it's time. We are pretty much waiting for this. So the mobile wallet is not too far off too either. So that's we kind of pivoted over the last week or two. Really, the last week for me. I've been working pretty exclusively on the mobile wallet a lot over the past month, but have shifted gears into the desktop wallet. I'm glad I did because we got it all done. But what's it called? We have the mobile wallet will be coming out at some point. It will most likely be coming after the hard fork, which that's going to be 6.0. I'm 5.1, 5.2 features are, like I said, I left it at about 70%. I'd say I got maybe another 10%. We're maybe at 80, 85, and then pipe it in and debug it and all of that. And then I'm going to be pulling some 6.0 features into the hard fork. There were some community requests, pooled staking. That's not too difficult, but there were people that told me that that's a really important feature for a lot of people because some people that don't have enough coin, when they don't feel that they can stake it, they're just kind of selling. So we are going to be moving that feature up. So it's going to be kind of a lot of the 5.2 features and the pooled staking feature. That's going to be coming out in the 5.2, but it's basically going to be 5.2, 6.0. And then the mobile wallet will be coming after that because when there is a hard fork, you will have to update the mobile wallet because it does have consensus rules associated with it. So I want to make some adjustments on the mobile wallet too. There's still some more stuff that I want to do to speed it up, but synchronization was pretty quick. I did pretty good, but I think I synced in about 30, 35, 40 minutes last time. Synced over and over again. That's pretty decent for not having a very good connection. I want to increase that further. I started getting the constant time database integrated into the core as well, so I'm going to be pivoting onto that. That potentially will come out with the 6.0 as well. That's already done. It just needs to be debugged slightly. And then I'm going to also be creating a database API. So for you developers, if you're crunching data through the operators and the filters and the queries, you can crunch that and you can push that into a database. So I'm going to basically create a database plugin, which will give you structured query language functionality into it. And that'll be something that you can just stash data for your app. So Nexus can kind of become like a one-stop shop. You won't really have to install a relational database engine. You won't have to have all these peripheral things. And then when the file system's done, you won't even have to worry about file storage. My design requirement is make the technology advanced enough where it takes something complex and makes it very easy to use. So that's my modus operandi, and making it so that people don't even have to know that they're using blockchain, right? Keeping it simple enough that it feels familiar enough, but also is a powerful toolkit at the same time. And I think we're reaching a really nice threshold with that. So I'm really pleased. I really am with the entire code. I'm pleased at how much has been done. I know it's been a long haul, and I really do sincerely appreciate everyone's patience. I understand I'm not good at time, and I get overly optimistic, and in my mind it's just so clear, and I overestimate the actual physical effort it takes to type all of that, and so I'm working on that. And today is a day that we redeem that because we are delivering it on time today. We're going to be delivering at 6:33 p.m. Like I said, after this call, basically going to be merging into merging. Then I'm getting more into hardware stuff too. So be keeping your eye out for some of the hardware. That's another really important component. I'm also talking to some people, freedom-oriented people, about integrating Nexus in some different types of movements. I think that's going to be really important for us to link up with people that are of a like mind and need a tool to help enhance, whatever pursuits that they have, right? So like one thing Phil's doing is he wants to do commodities markets, peer-to-peer marketplaces, NFT platforms. That's another one. Having the decentralized exchange where you can fulfill orders on your phone, and the remote login system, and the remote file system, and then the queries, and one-stop shop, really where, all you need is Nexus to do whatever you need on the web, right? You should not need any peripheral extra software. That's the step towards being an operating system, right? Because as Nexus is able to provide all of these things, this is how I'm doubling up, at least working smart to some degree, of basically doing parallels. So like with the microkernel, we get the operating system running. We just have to essentially get the Tau framework installed on there. and get all the prerequisites, and then the Tau framework can provide a lot of the functionality to build the operating system on. So the operating system really is kind of a Tau operating system. It's driven by the Tau framework. And when you have a file system, you don't have to write a file system server, right? Basically, we'll just have to write the root task server and a few other things, and I'll have to deal with some of the low-level assembly. I'm planning on making it POSIX compliant, so it's backwards compatible with a lot of other ones. Have the Unix command line interface POSIX, you know, ls, grep, all of those good commands. I want to have all of that in so it's familiar. I'm touching base also with some more people this week. I've been kind of pushing off calls till I got everything done, but I'm starting those up, including working on the decentralized ATM network, where we can essentially create decentralized fiat on and off ramps. And I believe we can do it in a way that it'll be safe and it will be able to handle regulatory scrutiny, because there won't be any central anything doing it, and it won't actually be exchanging anything. It's really cool. So we're working on that too. Like I said, I've been very fortunate to be connected with some really awesome people as well. So we're kind of really pursuing developing use cases that really provide benefit to humanity. Right now, we all look at the world, pardon my language, but the world's going to shit, and we got to do something about it. And my philosophy has been, well, I believe that we can build technology that can help give us tools to be tools to our freedom rather than to our enslavement. And right now, it's really going to go either way. We're either going to live in a global technocracy, or we're going to be able to free ourselves with that technology. But part of the really importance of that is also changing the way we think, right? And healing our psychology. So that's a whole other can of worms. I'm not touching that one yet. I'm just focusing on code. But all in all, it's feeling really good. It's been a fucking feat, I'm not gonna lie, to get it not just in development, but overcoming all of the things in myself and my personal life and kids and family and custody battles and all this stuff. It's just been a lot, but I'm really proud that I've been able to still focus through it and get it done. And, you know, I mean, focusing on my health a lot more now. I mean, I didn't take care of myself as well, and I did suffer with that a lot last year. I'm a lot healthier now, which is good. I'm learning to take care of myself better, which is good. So, you know, all in all, I mean, Nexus is really, it's been a gift to me, and I really hope that it can be a gift to you guys too, and continue to be that. And, you know, you guys know me, I'm never going to stop until it's done. I mean, we got our rollout, and I really feel we need this. We need to be able to freely examine information and track where it came from, and know that it wasn't manipulated, and know that we can search it without any bias, without having any weighted algorithms telling you what to believe and what to see. Because I think that's the first step to healing a lot of the planetary issues, is we need to have good information, and to be able to have tools to be able to verify that that is good information. And that's ultimately what we're building, right? As I've said before, you know, what caused the Dark Ages is roads fell out of service and bandits took over between the castles, and information couldn't travel between people. But when it started to travel, there was a burst of art and innovation and science, and that was what began the Renaissance. So, you know, maybe it's possible that even despite all of these things that are happening, we have a chance to do that too. And you guys know me, I will do this until I don't breathe anymore. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to support you guys. I'm probably going to come back into Telegram at some point. The biggest reason I haven't been in there is just because it just takes a lot of time, and I want to hang out with you guys. You guys are awesome. You're fun. But then code doesn't get done. So I really needed to just be disciplined in that way, to just really focus on code. But I'll be popping back in a little bit, come chat with you guys, and yeah. So we'll look forward to that at some point. And yeah. I guess 6:33 p.m. is when we set the release date. So right now I just got master merged, and let's see what we got. Let's see, branch, master. I created my own little scripts here. Here we go. That's about 1,766 commits. All right, that's it. And then version, we are going to drop the release candidate now. So we go to 5.1 and we drop that. So this is a release candidate. We're going to rebuild. Here we go. Kind of live stream it. I figured why not since we're already here. So that's it. All right. So I'm going to be pushing. It's already pushed to master right now. I removed the release candidate versioning so that we will know that this is the full release candidate. It's merged. Again, what I said, the amount of code that has been completed is 636 files have been changed, 114,032 insertions, and 71,689 deletions. It's compiling right now. I removed the release candidate versioning. So I pushed it to master. I'm going to tag this and then create a release candidate. And then Kendall's going to wrap up the rest of the builds. And then I'll post a tweet on Twitter. We're going to post it on our GitHub. If you're watching GitHub, you can maybe see that beforehand. We're going to it's going out. If you run into any bugs, obviously, report issues trackers. We've done a lot to make sure that everything is as bug-free as possible, but sometimes they still happen. So if you encounter any, do not hesitate to submit an issue, and there will be a 511 next. And I think probably I kind of like the Friday AMA, so I think I'm going to keep that. Not this Friday. I'm going to have a nice little week and a half. I'm probably going to take a little bit of time off tomorrow. Well, I can't actually. I have calls all day, but maybe Friday. And then I will be back the next AMA the next Friday. And we're going to continue and keep rocking and rolling. And interesting enough, right as I say this, it's almost done being compiled. We have one, and then we start it up. Make sure that the versions look correct. And then it is time to rock and roll. So there it goes. There she goes. All right. So we're going to start this right here. And we have the version 5.1 Tritium++, CLI 5.10. It's in release mode. We're going to say commit tag for release 5.0. That's always the commit message that I put at the end. Master is done. It is officially out, at least on the master branch. If you want to try it, you can get pull origin master. You can verify the amount of code that has been completed on your own. If you so choose, we will be pushing out the binaries within a couple of hours, hashes, all that good stuff. And I will talk to you guys, not this Friday, but the next Friday. And I will be giving you an update. I'm going to shift to 5.2 mode. The mobile wallet's stable enough right now. I don't have to focus on that. So I'm going to be shifting into remote login. So most likely by the next Friday, I will be wanting to start a little internal private testing group. So I will be doing that and having you guys help me with remote login, and rock and roll, guys. Until next time.